what does it mean, masculine energy? Is it a hulky man who walks around? And feminine energy is a pretty girl who struts around? What is it?
I don't like that we call it masculine, feminine energy because then yes.
Okay.
I don't like that
Okay.
it's called that.
She started schooling us right
Because
away.
no, I'm just giving my opinion, okay?
Got it.
And you guys can disagree and you can chime in because feminine and masculine, when you hear those words, automatically, where does your mind go to?
What I just said, like masculine, you
Men
think
and women.
man, and
Right.
feminine,
Gender.
girls.
Gender.
You think of gender. You think, oh, feminine, that's for women. Masculine, that's for men. However, regardless of how you identify yourself, we all have both energies within us. In fact, every living thing has both energies within them.
Sometimes you start dating or, well, some pertain to you because you've been married for decades.
That's what I'm trying to understand because
So,
I've been
like,
out the game
let's
for
say
years,
when you're
girl.
like dating, getting to know people, you may come forward like, I'm a woman, I work hard to get what I need to provide for myself. You come with that energy that says you're stable and you do what you got to do to get what you
question.
need.
So is that what men want? Because remember that the man is supposed to bring that quote unquote supposed to. This is society's perception. The man, as the default masculine person, is supposed to bring that energy that they can provide, that they can take care of, that they can protect. You think they are going to want a woman that has that same quality? Is that what they're looking for? But then when you put the message out there of like, okay, women need to be more feminine, women need to tap into their feminine traits, because we have this feminine and masculine associated with gender, it's like we're telling women to be soft, to not be independent. You know what I mean? It's almost like mixed messaging because of how we view masculine energy, feminine energy.
But like it's
feminine.
really hard to when that part of you again leaves you vulnerable. That is, I think that is the reason why a lot of women now don't tap into it more, and even males I've figured it out. You know, I have that side of me, but it leaves me vulnerable because you are subject to feel more.
A relationship is its own thing, separate from
your identity,
who
like
you are. And I think that is a very, very important message, because a lot of times when people get into relationships, and I'll just say, especially as women, we lose ourselves to the relationship, right? The relationship,
to the children, you lose who you are. You become them, and you're like, who am I? And the end of the you're like, who is this person?
So I think it's not a matter of during this time I should be more in my feminine, and during this time in my life I should be more in my masculine. I think it's knowing when to switch them on and off. And because we're not taught these things, going back to so many other things that we talk about here on this podcast, that we are not taught these things.
Yep.
We don't know this, and we don't know how to navigate the world. And we're, again, seeing a lot of imbalances in society. And we are living in a patriotic world that is slowly turning and will become a feminine matriarch society once again, because that is how we thrive as a people. We see all this craziness going on in the world because of all this masculine energy that's being displayed, not just by men, but by women as well. And we're not giving the feminine energy the credit that it deserves. Feminine energy is not up here with masculine energy. Like, they're not equal. Like, society is going to view the masculine energy as the dominant energy, and feminine as the weak, the lesser. And that's our problem. Like, we're not using feminine energy to its potential.
Yeah, it is clearly clear that the world is masculinely dominated.
Wars, money, fame.
No love, no nature, no caring, no going within, no empathy.
How can we get better and more?
We're shifting that. We are.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that's going to take, but we have to keep doing the work that we've been doing, spreading the messages that we've been spreading, and hopefully person by person, You know what I mean? Especially a father with his daughter. The more tapped into his feminine energy, the more he can relate to her, the more she can feel safe with him. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be so in your feminine energy that like you guys are painting each other's nails and you're like doing facials and all that all that stuff. You know what I mean? But to the point that she feels safe coming to you and that you're not going to dismiss her feelings. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing with men who are not tapped into their feminine energy, is that they dismiss other people's feelings and they don't think feelings are important. Like, feelings don't matter, where feelings are what helps us to make good decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And then definitely, yeah. And in a relationship, a man who can tap into their feminine, I think they're just more romantic, and that automatically makes the
True.
woman be more loving and better overall for you as well, you know?
And it's okay to be a single parent and be that provider, but still know that you have your feminine side and don't neglect your feminine side, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say because you're a single parent, you should look to find a partner, you should have a man. No, but don't lose sight of your feminine side because you're forced into that role. And we do, because we are not taught these things. So going back to that, we're just in this cycle of, you know, men have too much masculine energy, and now women are leaning more towards that masculine energy. And that's how we've become a very masculine dominated society.
Yep. It's definitely not just the man's fault, right?
It's all our faults. Not fault. We can't put blame. It's what we've inherited, because we all came to this earth and found this here. You know what I mean? It's what we inherited. So what are we going to do now to make sure that it's a little better in the future? Yeah, I think it needs to start with us women. And it's hard because over the years, women rights, right? We fought so hard to be seen as equals. You know what I mean? But I think it took a turn in order for a woman to be seen as equal with a man, she has to have equal amount of masculine energy. Where no, like, you could be equal with a man with all of your divine feminine energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, your traits as a feminine woman should have the same, should be, you know, viewed the same way, should be valued the same as a man's. It comes more naturally for a man to be masculine. So, okay, we'll give them that. But then, you know, obviously same rights, be seen as equal when it comes to being people. But let's not discredit our feelings, our intuition, you know, all the things that make us women, because all that is lacking. All of that has gotten us to where we are now. So I think women need to tap in. It's more important for a woman to tap into her feminine energy and kind of take back that narrative of, yes, we can be seen as equals and be feminine at the same time. I don't have to give up my femininity in order for you to view me as your equal.
Right.
And that's what a lot of women have done in order to be viewed as equal.
And that's why we're on the masculine side of society. So let's shift it. It's a movement, people. It's a movement.
Let's get this movement going.
It needs to be a movement, right?
That's right. Hashtag take back your feminine power.
For real.